The kitchen smelled like cinnamon and coffee, the kind of Sunday morning that tricks you into thinking everything is fine. Light came through the blinds in clean stripes across the table where my wife's sister sat, scrolling through her phone with one hand, holding a pastry with the other. She looked up at me like I'd interrupted something important. "You'll never amount to anything, you know that?" she said. Not angry, not even trying to hurt me, just stating what she believed was obvious. Sarah deserves better than this. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. My chest tightened, but my hand stayed steady on the coffee pot. I poured her more coffee, set the pot down, and walked to the garage. That was the moment something inside me went quiet. Not broken, just quiet. What she didn't know was that the story she thought she understood had already changed. She just hadn't seen the pages yet. My name is Daniel Matthews. I'm 51 years old. For the past 19 years, I'd worked as an operations manager for a mid-sized logistics firm, the kind of job that keeps supply chains running but never makes headlines. I was the person who fixed problems before anyone noticed they existed, the one who stayed late to close spreadsheets and reconcile shipping errors. Dependable, invisible, exactly what I'd always been told mattered. Sarah and I had been married for 17 years. On the surface, it worked. We had a house in the suburbs, a mortgage we were steadily paying down, 2 cars that started when we needed them to. We went to her family's gatherings every month, hosted Thanksgiving twice a year, sent birthday cards on time. Stable. That's what everyone called it. But stability and respect aren't the same thing. I learned that slowly, the way you learn that a foundation is cracking, not all at once, but in small moments you ignore until you can't anymore. Sarah's opinions about money always carried more weight than mine, even though I earned it. Her plans always took priority, even when they conflicted with things I'd mentioned weeks before. I let it go. I let a lot go. I thought that's what partnership meant, making space, being flexible, choosing peace over pride. Her sister Monica had been part of the fabric for years. She lived 20 minutes away, stopped by unannounced, called Sarah 3 times a day. She was louder than Sarah, more direct, the kind of person who said what she thought and called it honesty. I tolerated her because Sarah loved her, and because I'd learned that objecting to Monica meant arguing with both of them. So I didn't object. I nodded. I poured coffee. I fixed the garage door when Monica's car wouldn't fit in her own driveway. The erosion happened in those small moments. Monica asking why we didn't take better vacations, as if I controlled Sarah's spending. Monica suggesting I should step up when Sarah complained about work stress, as if I didn't already handle every repair, every bill, every logistical detail of our lives. Monica laughing when I mentioned an idea at the dinner table, cutting me off mid-sentence to tell Sarah about a better version of the same thought. I stopped finishing sentences. I stopped offering ideas. I let the quiet settle over me like dust. The Sunday Monica said those words, "You'll never amount to anything," wasn't the first time she dismissed me. It was just the first time the words landed in a place that didn't absorb them. Sarah had been sitting right there, 10 feet away, folding laundry on the couch. She didn't disagree. She didn't defend me. She glanced at Monica, then back at the towels, and said nothing. That silence was louder than anything Monica had said. I went to the garage, closed the door, and sat in the driver's seat of my car. I didn't turn it on. I just sat there, hands on the wheel, staring at the concrete wall. My phone buzzed. A notification from the bank. A deposit had cleared, my quarterly bonus, the one I'd been waiting on for 3 months. $17,000 after taxes. Not life-changing money, but enough. I checked the time, 10:14 a.m. I opened my banking app and reviewed the accounts. Our joint checking, our joint savings, the credit cards in both our names. Then I opened the account Sarah didn't know about, the one I'd set up 6 years ago when her spending started to outpace her promises to pull back. The account where a portion of every bonus, every overtime check, every unexpected reimbursement had been quietly funneled. The balance read $127,483. I sat there for a long time. I didn't feel angry. I felt focused. Something inside me had shifted from endurance to recognition. I understood with a clarity that felt almost physical that I had been waiting for permission to matter, and that permission was never coming. I didn't go back inside that morning. I drove to a hotel near the airport, checked in under my own name, and sat on the edge of a bed that smelled like industrial detergent. The room was silent except for the hum of the air conditioner. I opened my laptop and began organizing. Screenshots of text conversations where Monica had insulted me and Sarah had laughed. Bank statements showing Sarah's spending habits, the clothes, the weekend trips with Monica, the credit cards I'd paid off without complaint. I made a folder. I labeled it clearly. I didn't feel frantic. I felt methodical. The next morning, I called an attorney. His name was Roger Sims, a referral from a colleague who'd gone through a contentious divorce 2 years earlier. Roger's voice on the phone was calm, unsurprised. "How long have you been thinking about this?" he asked. 17 years, I said. "I just didn't know I was thinking about it." "Good," he said. "That means you're not reactive. Come in tomorrow. Bring everything." I met Roger in his office on a Tuesday afternoon. The clock on his wall read 2:41 p.m. I remember because I'd been watching the second-hand tick, wondering if I'd feel different once I said the words out loud. Roger sat across from me, a legal pad in front of him, pen ready. "Tell me what you want," he said. "I want clarity," I said. "I want to stop pretending this is something it's not." Roger nodded. "Good start. Here's what you do. You observe. You don't explain. You don't justify. You save everything, texts, emails, bank records. You contact no one from her side. If they reach out, you screenshot and send to me. You stay calm. Calm is your advantage." Over the next 3 weeks, I did exactly that. I went to work. I answered Sarah's calls with neutral updates. Yes, I was fine. No, I just needed space. I'd be in touch soon. She didn't push. I think she was relieved. Monica called twice. I let it go to voicemail both times. The messages were identical. Condescending concern wrapped in accusations. I saved them. I found more than I'd expected. A credit card I didn't recognize, opened in my name but used exclusively by Sarah. Monthly charges to boutique stores, restaurants I'd never been to, subscription services I'd never authorized. The balance was $23,000. I took pictures of every statement. I found emails between Sarah and Monica discussing my salary, my bonus structure, my inability to provide the lifestyle Sarah deserved. The phrase was Monica's. Sarah had responded with a laughing emoji. My phone buzzed one afternoon while I was reviewing documents. A text from Sarah. "Monica says you're being childish. This is embarrassing. Just come home and we'll talk." I didn't respond. I took a screenshot. I sent it to Roger. His reply was one word. Perfect. The system began to move. Roger filed separation paperwork. He requested forensic accounting on our joint accounts. He flagged the unauthorized credit card. He sent a formal notice to Sarah's attorney, someone Monica had recommended, which told me everything I needed to know about who was driving this. Sarah called me on a Thursday night. I was in the hotel room, reading. The clock read 9:17 p.m. I answered. "Daniel, this is insane," she said. Her voice had shifted. Not angry, afraid. "Monica said your lawyer is asking for financial records. Why are you doing this?" "I'm not doing anything," I said. "I'm stopping what was already happening." "What does that even mean?" "It means I stopped pretending that being invisible was the same as being valued." She was quiet for a moment. "We can fix this. Just come home. We'll talk." Monica agrees. "Monica doesn't get a vote," I said evenly. "This isn't her marriage." "She's trying to help," Sarah said. "She's always tried to help." "Sarah," I said, "when was the last time you defended me to her?" Silence. "That's what I thought," I said. I ended the call. I didn't block her number. I just put the phone down and went back to reading. 2 days later, Roger called. "They want to meet," he said. "Mediation. Sarah's attorney thinks they can resolve this without court. You interested?" Yes, I said, but not at their location. Agreed. Neutral ground. Conference room at my office. This Friday, 3 p.m. Friday arrived with cold rain and low clouds. I wore a suit, the same one I'd worn to company presentations for years. I arrived at Roger's office 15 minutes early. Sarah arrived 10 minutes late, Monica beside her. Monica wore sunglasses indoors. Sarah looked smaller than I remembered. They sat across from Roger and me at a long table. Sarah's attorney, a man named Philip, set a leather folder on the table and opened it with practiced efficiency. "Let's keep this simple," Philip said. "My client is willing to agree to a clean separation, equal division of assets, no alimony on either side. You walk away whole." Roger didn't look at me. He slid a folder across the table. "Before we discuss division," he said, "let's discuss documentation." Philip opened the folder. His face changed. Sarah leaned forward to see. Monica sat back, arms crossed. The folder contained printouts, the credit card statements, the email exchanges, the spending patterns mapped against my documented income, a timeline showing when purchases occurred and when I'd been told we couldn't afford things I'd requested. "This is a misunderstanding," Sarah said quickly. "Those charges, I was going to pay those back." "With what income?" Roger asked. His tone was polite, almost gentle. "You've been unemployed for 8 months. Sarah looked at Monica. Monica's jaw tightened. "This is irrelevant," Monica said. "Daniel makes enough to cover—" "Monica," I said quietly. She stopped. Everyone stopped. It was the first time I'd spoken since entering the room. "This conversation is between Sarah and me. You're a guest here. Act like one." Her face flushed. She opened her mouth. Philip raised a hand. "Mr. Matthews is correct," Philip said. "Monica, perhaps you should wait outside." Monica looked at Sarah. Sarah looked at the table. Monica stood, grabbed her purse, and walked out. The door closed behind her with a soft click. Philip turned back to the folder. His fingers traced the edge of the credit card statement. "My client wasn't aware these records would be disclosed," he said carefully. "Your client opened a card in my name without my knowledge," I said. "Awareness is selective." Sarah's voice cracked. "Daniel, I made mistakes, I know that. But this, going after me like this, it's cruel." "I'm not going after you," I said. "I'm stopping what you started when you let your sister speak for you. When you let her dismiss me in my own home. When you chose her version of my worth over the evidence sitting right in front of you." "She was trying to protect me," Sarah said. "From what?" I asked. "From stability? From someone who paid every bill, fixed every problem, and asked for nothing but basic respect?" Philip cleared his throat. "My client would like to propose a revised settlement." "No," Roger said. "My client would like to propose that your client review the forensic audit we've requested. Once that's complete, we'll discuss what division actually means." Sarah's hands were shaking. "Daniel, please, we don't have to do this. Just tell me what you want." I looked at her, really looked at her. For the first time in years, I wasn't calculating how to make things easier for her. I wasn't translating my needs into something that wouldn't inconvenience her day. "I want you to understand that silence kept this system running," I said, "but boundaries shut it down. I want you to know that I didn't break anything. I stopped pretending." I stood. Roger stood with me. I picked up my coat from the back of the chair. "We'll be in touch," Roger said. We left. I didn't look back. I didn't wait for Sarah to say something. I didn't give Monica the chance to intercept me in the hallway. I walked to my car, got in, and drove. 3 weeks later, the settlement was finalized. Sarah kept the house. I kept the separate account, my retirement, and my half of the joint assets after the credit card debt was subtracted from her portion. Monica never apologized. I never expected her to. Sarah sent one text a month after the papers were signed. "I didn't think it would go this far." I didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. I moved into a small condo near the river. It had 1 bedroom, large windows, and a kitchen that was mine. The first morning I woke up there, I made coffee and stood at the window watching the water move. The air was cool. The light was clean. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt unburdened. I thought about Monica's words. You'll never amount to anything. I realized she'd been measuring me against a metric I'd never agreed to. Success to her meant visibility, volume, dominance. Success to me had always been quieter: competence, reliability, dignity. I hadn't failed her measure. I'd rejected it. Self-respect doesn't announce itself. It just stops asking permission. If you'd been in my place, would you have stayed silent as long as I did? Or would you have spoken up sooner? Tell me in the comments where you're listening from. I read them. I really do. Your presence means more than you know. If stories like this matter to you, stories about quiet strength and the hard choices that come with reclaiming your own worth, subscribe. Let's keep walking this road together.